Hello, my name is Justin and I'm a guitarist and I've been teaching guitar for a while now. In this video, I would like to share some tips and tricks and some ideas on how to start learning guitar if you are a complete beginner in 2022. So stay tuned for the whole video to get some really interesting information and more up-to-date information on learning guitar. Now, if you stick around to the end, I would like to give you a bonus piece of advice, which I think will be very, very useful. So do stick around to the end. Let's start with the video. So let's start with the hardware section of this video here. I'm going to try and make it fuss-free, and I'm going to try and give you a budget to work with. I'm going to give you different options, but at the end of the day, it's up to you and your budget. So we're going to talk about the guitar first, obviously, right? Because you need the guitar to work, to learn with. So I recommend spending between $180 to $250 for your guitar. And the reason why is because guitars in this price range are really, really good for beginners. Entry-level guitars. They help you to play better, and also I think they last longer. You can really keep these guitars for a while, a few years, compared to cheaper guitars. We're talking about guitars maybe below $150. Firstly, the quality is bad. You won't be able to press the guitar very well, and I think the more important thing is the resale value is very low for these cheap guitars. For a guitar like this, for example, if I were to sell it in the second-hand market, I'll still be able to get back up to maybe 75 to 80% of the value you paid for it. So that's a good thing. The next thing to think about is getting name brands like Yamaha, Takamine, Taylor, Martin, or Sigma, or Cort, just to name a few. These are name brands. If you look around, do some research, you will find that these are the brands that people often talk about. Go for these brands. But say you're sport for choice and you really just want to make one decision, I would highly recommend this guitar. This is the Yamaha F310. It comes in a few colors, natural, sunburst, and tobacco sunburst. So this guitar will set you back about maybe $220, between $180 to $220. And I really like this guitar. The neck is small, the strings are easy to press, and it sounds really good. It can actually last you a while if you don't feel like buying a new guitar anytime soon. The only problem with this guitar is that the body is a little bit big, but you know, actually I've done a review on this guitar on another video which I'll post the links to, so you can actually check it out, see if it's the guitar for you, and then you buy it. But if you want to make it fuss-free, the Yamaha F310. But like I mentioned, any of the name brands would be good. So do check that guitar out. Another thing I want to talk about is, should you get a classical nylon string guitar or an acoustic guitar? Well, it really depends on the style of music you want to play. For this video, I'm just going to talk about pop music, okay? Popular music, what you hear on the radio, not classical music. If you want to do classical, you can do just pick a nylon string guitar or bossa nova, for example. But for pop music, I highly recommend getting a steel string acoustic guitar. That is the sound that you always hear in your recordings. So just get a steel string guitar. You don't have to get a classical guitar first to progress on to an acoustic guitar. Now, let's say you're getting started on this guitar learning journey, but you're not very sure if you're going to commit to it. One tip I can give you is to ask around. Ask your family members, ask your friends. You might be surprised that one or two of them might have an extra guitar lying around that they're not using for a while, and you can borrow it for a while, use it for 2 to 3 months, and then figure out if that's the guitar you want. The second piece of equipment that I would like you to get would be a guitar tuner. You have a few choices. You could either get an electronic guitar tuner, and the ones in the market these days are the ones that you would attach to the headstock like this, and you turn it on. It detects vibrations along the guitar, and then you can tune your guitar this way. I would rather you do it electronically. You might have heard people say, hey, tune by ear is the best, and that's a good thing to do, but especially at the beginning stage, there's no way you're going to be more accurate than an electronic device. So I highly recommend getting a guitar tuner to tune first. If you get a new guitar, most likely the strings will be out of tune. Of course, you can always ask a friend to help you tune it, but if you're on your own, at least you can use this. So I have two guitar tuners here that I would recommend you get. One is the Snark guitar tuner, and one is the Didario or Planet Waves micro tuner. These will set you back between $15 to $24, and I think they're very good, very compact to use. If you're on a low budget, you could go over to a shopping app and find a cheap guitar tuner that you can buy, and they'll ship it from China. That will cost you about maybe $6 to $7. Okay, is there a difference between the tuners? Not really, but I think the more expensive tuners do have more functionalities and they do last longer a little bit. If you're really budget conscious, another thing you can do is to get an app called Guitar Tuner. It's an app, a free app that you can get through your smartphone, and that allows you to tune your guitar. The good thing about it is that it's free, but because you have to tune to it, it's affected by noises in the environment. So if you're in a noisy environment, your tuning will be affected by it. Let me know if you want me to do a video on how to tune the guitar using both methods, and I'll do a video for you. The next piece of gear to get would be the Capo. Now it comes in all shapes and sizes. So for complete beginners, I would highly recommend you get the clip version, where you take this and you just clip it on the guitar like that. Alright, and again, it comes in all shapes and sizes, and there's a few price ranges for this. At the lower price range, you have you can get a Capo like this for about maybe $5 to $6 on the shopping apps, and you can get one for about $25. A brand that I highly recommend on the more expensive side would be Jim Dunlop. If you can spare the cash, get that one. It's a really good, reliable brand, has been around for a long time, so I would highly recommend that one. You can't really get away from this Capo because in pop music we do use it a lot, so this is a very essential piece of gear to get. Now in this second part of the video, I want to talk about some expectations or some things to think about. I do talk about these things in another video called 5 tips to do before learning guitar. I'll post the link below, but I'm going to share some of my thoughts as well as some updated ideas. Okay, first thought that I have is, before you start learning guitar, try and think about what exactly it is that you're interested in. Is it pop music? Is it instrumental guitar music? Is it jazz? Or is it classical? It's important to get a good idea, because especially if you start learning or you start signing up for classes and you don't know what you are getting yourself into, you might waste your time learning the wrong thing and you only realize it a little bit later on. I've heard a lot of cases where people do not know what they want to learn and they sign up for classical guitar lessons when they wanted to learn pop lessons, and they come to regret it, or they just stop learning the guitar altogether. Again, you should check out my video where I explain the differences between the genres so that you have a clearer idea. Basically, if you like to sing and play guitar, pop music is what you should be learning. So the next thing I'd like you to think about is about the commitment to learning guitar. You got to give yourself about maybe between 3 weeks to about 2 months before you start hearing a good sound or starting to play songs and all that. Learning guitar is a skill. It's like learning an exercise. You're going to use muscle memory, there's coordination, your body and your brain needs to get used to it. So of course it's definitely going to take a while before your clumsy movements become a little bit more refined. I've met too many people who have this idea that they can learn guitar very fast, and in the first lesson they realize it's a lot harder than it is and they just quit the first lesson. Just know that it takes a while. I know this sounds very overwhelming, but really the 2 tips I can give you right now is make it a routine. Try to set aside 5 to 10 minutes, not 20 minutes because that's a bit too long for beginners. 5 to 10 minutes to practice as often as you can. It's like running. Everybody hates running at the beginning, but the more you run, the more you make it a routine, you actually start to like it and you feel that you want to do more and more of it every day. Now my third point is get guitar lessons. Learn from a guitar teacher. I know this is a self-plug, but think about it. You're paying money so that someone can teach you the proper basics, and teach you how to learn the guitar in the fastest and most efficient way. And that saves you a lot of hardship, and that saves you a lot of time. Unfortunately, there are bad guitar teachers around. It's a reality of this industry. I have done a video called the 5 signs of bad guitar teachers that you should watch out for. So I'm going to put the link in the video in the description. Check it out so that you're better well informed about this pitfall. Thanks for sticking around to the end of this video. Well, nearing the end anyway. I'd like to share with you a bonus tip. Now, this is something you can do before you even get the guitar. And the tip that I want to leave you with is listen to more music, or listen to more music carefully. In my years of experience of teaching guitar, I'm often very surprised at people who want to learn songs, but they don't even listen to the song properly, or they have not heard the song at all before trying to learn it. And I find that very strange. It's like trying to recall what someone said like a few months ago and trying to reproduce it. Music is, I often tell my students that sometimes listening to the music is really as much as 40% to even 70% of the job done. So here's what I'd like you to do. Listen to the music that you want to learn, or your favorite music. Listen to it more carefully, and here are the things you can listen for. You know, for example, what's the drum beat like? Can you do air drums to it? Can you tap out the drum beat of the song? If you hear guitar in the song, can you do air guitar and figure out what the strumming pattern is? If you hear a guitar solo, are you able to sing the guitar solo? Or other instruments, basically trying to analyze the song. And here's the thing, you don't need to get it 100% correct. The mere fact that you are trying to listen to it this way is going to make you more musical, and it's opening up your ears a little bit, so that when you start learning songs, all these small details will be readily available to you by the time you start. Thank you for watching this video. If you like this video, like it, subscribe to my channel, and share this video with someone whom you think will benefit from this information. If you're interested in guitar lessons, I do offer lessons here in Singapore locally. Or maybe if you're in another country and you feel like you want to give me a chance in teaching you how to learn guitar properly, drop me a message. I'm sure we can set something up. Stay tuned for more updates, and I'll see you, and good luck for your guitar learning journey.